You've spoken a lot about what policymakers can do to address human rights within trade agreements. But what about the common people? What about students? What about just ordinary people in the population? How can they get involved in the fray? How can they get involved in promoting human rights and trade as well?
I think there's been kind of a dogma among the student unions that the WTO is bad, or international institutions that promote development are bad and evil and captured by multinational corporations. And I think that's a problem, because that perspective ignores history. There is a lot that's wrong with these institutions, there's no doubt about it, but I think people need to understand that instead of throwing bricks at the WTO or the IMF, we need to find ways to rebuild these institutions, which have always evolved to meet the needs of people in the 21st century. So that's the first point. The second point is, so don't presume that this is a bad thing. In fact, they are good things, but they do need major revisions. So let's work on the revisions rather than throwing bricks at them. Another thing I think is that there's a lot that you can do to vote with your feet. Purchase goods and services from corporations that are trying to serve the poor. We need to create a bigger demand for things like fair trade items. We need to get more corporations to think about these questions. The more that people buy from conscientious companies, and there's lots of ways to find out whether or not companies are conscientious. And one is to look at their labor standards record. Another is to look at what they give their money towards. So, you know, so for example, you know, I'm not saying that if you shop at Walmart, you're promoting a better retail than if you shop at Target, but I am saying that if you shop at Costco, which is a unionized company, you're making a statement there, whereas Target and Walmart are non-unionized companies. So you need to do your research. It's just not black and white. It's easier said than done. But there are lots of ways through your own behavior that you can make the world a better place. You can not invest in oil companies, for example, and invest in companies or car makers that really try to produce alternative energy products. Those kinds of things. Voting through your feet, voting through your savings can be a big deal.
I'd like to thank you for some very thoughtful insights on the issue of trade and human rights. And I highly recommend that everyone read Susan's book. It's really fantastic. But
you can buy it much more cheaply through Amazon or Barnes & Noble because it's expensive.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so much.